Hello dear children, welcome back to my channel. We discussed some topics of History Chapter 3, the Delhi Sultanate in video part 1. Today I am here again to teach you next segment of the same chapter in part 2. So let's overview the topics. After discussing some topics in video part 1, today we will discuss about the remaining parts of slave dynasty. Children, in video part 1, we discussed how Muslim rule started in North India. Their rule is known as Delhi Sultanate. Then we discussed that 5 dynasties ruled over northern India from Delhi as their capital. We started with first dynasty of Delhi Sultanate, the slave dynasty. See this flowchart. We discussed about first ruler of slave dynasty, Qutbuddin Aibak, in video part 1. Today we will discuss the remaining 4 rulers of this dynasty. For example, ruler number 2, Shamsuddin ILTUTMISH, ruler number 3, RAZIA Sultan, ruler number 4, NASIRRUDDin, and ruler number 5, Ghiyasuddin Balban. So now let's start and discuss about the second Sultan of the slave dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate. He was Shamsuddin ILTUTMISH. He is considered as the consolidator of the empire. Consolidator means the one who combines. Now let's talk about ILTUTMISH in detail. ILTUTMISH was also a slave. He was son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak. Son-in-law means damad. After Aibak's death, he took over the throne after facing great opposition in 1210 CE. He assumed the title of Shamsuddin, which means son of the religion. After facing a great opposition, ILTUTMISH faced many challenges at the internal frontiers. His major victories were: first, he had to crush the revolt of the nobles. Nobles means rich people. Number 2, he defeated Yaldaus, the governor of Kerman. Number 3, he occupied Lahore and Punjab. Challenge number 4, ILTUTMISH attacked and defeated Kubacha, the governor of Sindh. Number 5, he then subdued the Rajput chiefs. Subdued means controlled, dabana ya jhukana, of Ranthambore, Ajmer and Gwalior. He also brought under his control Bengal and Bihar. Now we will discuss about the challenges faced by ILTUTMISH at the external frontiers and how ILTUTMISH was attacked by Mongols. While ILTUTMISH was trying to consolidate his empire, the Mongols under the leadership of Genghis Khan attacked from the western borders of India. Mongols were warrior tribes from Central Asia. Children, to prevent the entry of the Mongols into India from western side, ILTUTMISH built a line of forts along the river Ravi. But the Mongols continued their attacks and finally they gained control over western Punjab. During this war, many scholars and artists entered India, fleeing from the onslaught of the Mongols. Scholars means educated people, artists means skillful people. Fleeing, bhag jana, to run away. Onslaught means strong attack, akraman or hamla. ILTUTMISH gave them protection. Children, take a look at this map of India during 1236 CE and see the areas carefully which we have discussed just now. The third Sultan of the slave dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate was RAZIA Sultan. She ruled from 1236 to 1240 CE. She was the first and last woman Muslim ruler. When Iltutmish died from natural causes, his son became the ruler, but he proved to be an ineffective ruler. Ineffective means not good. In 1236 CE, within 7 months, the throne went to Iltutmish's daughter Razia, who became Sultan. Razia was more able and qualified than all her brothers. According to historian Mirari Siraz, Razia was a great monarch, wise, just, and generous. Razia was the first and last woman who sat on the throne of Delhi. Razia had to face many challenges after becoming the Sultan. Number one, the main one being that she was a woman in a man's world. Number two, she also faced opposition from the Group of 40. Group of 40 means they were Turkish nobles and military leaders who now controlled the politics of Delhi. Children, nobles were not comfortable having a queen as a ruler. According to them, queen's rule was against the ideal social order created by God, in which women were supposed to be subordinate to men. Subordinate means lower to men or adhin. Challenge faced by Razia. Number 3. The special liking for Yaqut, an Abyssinian slave from present-day Ethiopia, also made the nobles angry. Thus, the nobles refused to accept a woman as their ruler. Finally, it led to her downfall and she was removed from the throne in 1240 CE. Children, take a look at this map and see the areas ruled by Razia Sultan in 1236 CE. Children, the fourth Sultan of the slave dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate was Nasiruddin. He ruled from 1240 to 1266 CE. He ruled under the guidance of Balban. Razia Sultan's rule was followed by a period of instability. Instability means asthirta. After Razia's downfall, her younger brother Nasiruddin was put on the throne. But the real power was in the hands of his guardian, Ghiyasuddin Balban. For 20 years, Balban ruled the empire on behalf of Nasiruddin. When Nasiruddin died in 1266 CE, Balban declared himself Sultan of Delhi. Children, the last ruler of the slave dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate was Ghiyasuddin Balban. He ruled from 1266 to 1287 CE. He was the last ruler of slave dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Balban was a stern man. Stern means tough, firm, or kathor. He believed in ruling with iron and blood, means with military power or force. We have already discussed when Razia's younger brother Nasiruddin was put on the throne, but the real power lay in the hands of his guardian Ghiyasuddin Balban, and he was already managing the empire from his side. Ghiyasuddin Balban effectively protected the empire from further attacks from the Mongols. In 1241 CE, the Mongols attacked Lahore. At this time, Balban managed the empire on behalf of Nasiruddin. Balban held the Mongols away with a clever mix of force and diplomacy. Held means controlled. Diplomacy means wisdom, kutniti. He built a chain of fortresses to strengthen the northwest frontiers. Fortresses means fortified towns. And Frontiers means borders. Children, in 1260 CE, also Balban was managing the empire on behalf of Nasiruddin. In 1260 CE, Balban also entertained an envoy from Hulaku Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan. Envoy means Doot. Ghiyasuddin Balban died in 1287 CE. He was succeeded by his grandson. On his death, the kingdom was weakened. It led to the collapse of the slave dynasty. Collapse means end. A new dynasty, the Khaljis, came to power in Delhi. That's all for today. I hope you must have understood the topic, the first dynasty of Delhi Sultanate, the slave dynasty from 1206 to 1290 CE, and the rulers who ruled during this period, discussed in video part 1 and 2 of History chapter 3, the Delhi Sultanate. See you in the next video, part 3, with second dynasty of Delhi Sultanate, the Khilji dynasty. Till then, goodbye. Don't forget to like the videos and subscribe my channel. Hit the bell icon for latest updates. And most important of all, like, love and live SS.